I duped a super popular foaming hand wash with easy to get ingredients in just 1 week. When I was done, I asked my friend to guess which one was the store-bought one and which one was mine. When I asked you guys what your favorite store-bought foaming hand wash was, Bath & Body Works was the overwhelming fave for the luscious lather and fabulous fragrances. Their products typically contain upwards of 15 ingredients, many of which I can't get, so I had to see if I could dupe their hand wash with what I have on hand. And I knew this would make an awesome holiday gift, so I needed to get you the formulation quickly, meaning I gave myself just 1 week to figure it out. Step 1 in any duping attempt, acquire the original.
Well, you know I love you guys because I'm in a mall around Christmas time.
Bath & Body Works has 2 core foaming hand wash formulations, one with sulfates that uses 3 foaming surfactants and one without sulfates that uses 4. I purchased a couple of each formulation and took them home to try them out.
All right, that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I now have 6 hand soaps to examine.
Before I dove into formulating, I put the originals to the test. The 2 formulations are pretty darn similar. Each pumps out rich, dense, soft lather, and they smell fantastic. I used them as the hand wash in my bathroom for a few days, and I loved the scent and lather, but did find they were a bit drying, so I added Make It Milder to my list of formulation requirements. Since Bath & Body Works has 2 formulations, I'm going to work on 2 as well, a natural one and a not natural one. Let's start formulating. Now, the core of any foaming hand wash formulation is the lather, the foam. So I started my formulation work with a variety of different foaming surfactant experiments to see which ones would give us the most Bath & Body Works-ish lather. I chose 6 different liquid surfactants, natural and not, and then made simple mixtures with amphoteric Cocamidopropyl Betaine, water, and a preservative, and of course the foaming surfactants, and then packaged each one in a small foamer bottle to see which bubbles reigned supreme. This surfactant, disodium laureth sulfosuccinate, ruled itself out straight away. You can see that the mixture has gotten really thick after being mixed with the Cocamidopropyl Betaine, and we don't want this kind of viscosity in a foaming hand wash as it creates products that sputter and spit when we try to pump them out. But I will definitely keep it in mind for future formulations where I want thickening. Out of the remaining 5 solutions, I think sodium C14-16 alpha olefin sulfonate and decyl glucoside create the richest, densest, most Bath & Body Works-y lather. SLES and sodium lauryl sarcosinate made fluffier bubbles, and sodium cocoa glutamate was a lovely hybrid of dense and fluffy. With that information, I moved on to drafting our surfactant blends in a spreadsheet before mixing them up. For the not natural formulation, I tried a mixture of 3 surfactants to try and get a blend of rich denseness and fluff. A blend of sodium C14-16 alpha olefin sulfonate, sodium laureth sulfate or SLES, and Cocamidopropyl Betaine was nice, but it ended up being a bit too fluffy for a Bath & Body Works dupe. So I dropped the SLES and opted for just sodium C14-16 alpha olefin sulfonate as our primary foaming surfactant. I also incorporated a few drops of lactic acid as the pH of this blend was a bit too high for optimal skin health. As I created the natural surfactant blend, I thought forward to our future fragrance solubilizing needs and introduced a 3rd natural surfactant that has really good solubilizing abilities, caprylyl and capryl glucoside. I really liked the lather of this blend, but when I compared it to the Bath & Body Works lather, it was too perky. The Bath & Body Works hand washes spread out and collapse pretty quickly, while this blend was quite structured and it sat on the watch glass all nice and sandy-uppy without kind of plopping out. So to soften up the lather and get us closer to that Bath & Body Works experience, I headed back to my spreadsheets and halved the active surfactant matter of both blends from around 8% to around 4%, and that helped a lot. The pH for both of these blends falls around 5, which is awesome. That is a skin-friendly pH that will help our barrier stay healthy for a gentler hand washing experience. At this point in time, I'm happy with the lather. It's still a bit perkier than the Bath & Body Works lather, but we still have a few ingredients to incorporate, and those will likely suppress lather a bit, so I think a bit of extra perk is a-okay at this point in our development process. The next step is where things get a bit tricky. Unlike with the lather blends, I won't know immediately if what I've done works. I'm gonna have to leave it overnight to find out. With my tight timeline, this needs to work quickly because I don't have a lot of overnight sized chunks of time left. This next tricky step is incorporating some fabulous scent and refatting ingredients to make the hand wash smell great and be milder. Bath & Body Works hand washes are quite strongly scented, so I started with 0.7 to 1% fragrance. For reference, I would usually use around 0.1%. Because fragrances and essential oils are oil soluble, they'll need some help to mix into these formulations without going cloudy and possibly separating out over time. For the not natural formulation, I chose a really versatile ingredient that will both solubilize the fragrance and add some mildness to the hand wash. It's PEG40 hydrogenated castor oil. I had fewer options to choose from for the natural formulation. PEG40 hydrogenated castor oil and other common solubilizers like polysorbate 20 were out because they are not natural. So I hoped that the amount of caprylyl and capryl glucoside and decyl glucoside in the formulation would be enough, and added a new to me ingredient called Plantasil Micro for a bit of refatting. And now I have to wait and see. The natural one is looking pretty cloudy already, and that is probably not a good sign.
Okay, good morning. So let's check on our hand washes.
It's the next morning and the not natural one looks great, but the natural one has definitely split. Shoot. In this situation, I've got 3 options. 1, I can try reducing the amount of fragrance to reduce the solubilizing power required. 2, I can try increasing the amount of surfactant to increase the solubilizing powers of the formulation. Or 3, I can try incorporating a natural solubilizer which will amp up the solubilizing powers of the hand wash. Reducing the fragrance is an easy place to start, as the scent level for both formulations is really over the top at this point in time. I was positively haunted by them in my kitchen after doing the wash up from last night's formulating session. I'm hesitant to increase the amount of surfactant since I know it will make the lather more structured and will also make the hand wash stronger, and I don't want either of those things to happen. I'm also not super keen on incorporating a natural solubilizer since I am trying to keep our ingredient list on the shorter side, but I might not have a choice. At this point, I was running out of time if I wanted to finish these formulations and get them out to you ASAP, so I decided to whip up 3 experiments at once. All 3 versions use less than half the original amount of fragrance, and that's the only change for our first experiment. Version 2 drops the refatting ingredient, so this is a new to me ingredient, and I want to see what happens if it's removed. Could this be part of our cloudiness issue? Let's find out. And version 3 incorporates a natural solubilizer. Wow, straight away there's a really obvious difference between the version with the solubilizer and the other 2. I'll still leave these overnight in covered beakers this time to cut back on all the plastic foamer bottles I'm positively motoring through, but I'm pretty sure I know which one is going to be the winner. Okay, 15 hours later and all 3 are clear, but versions 1 and 2 definitely have a bit of cloudiness sitting on the top, indicating they aren't fully solubilized and have separated. Version 1 is the worst. The one without the Plantasil Micro is better, but it still has a bit of separation. And lastly, the version with the natural solubilizer looks great. We have a winner. Let's make some hand wash. I'm going to be making the not natural formulation here, while the natural formulation is an exclusive for my $10 and up patrons. Once they're both done, we'll have my Bath & Body Works loving friend check them out and see if she can tell the difference between my formulations and the Bath & Body Works originals. Pour the formulation into a bottle with a foamer top cap, and that is it. Mine was a gift from Humblebee. The foamer cap is essential for this formulation. As you can see, it's super watery and really thin, so it would not work well with a normal pump top bottle. Now, do my formulations pass? I asked a friend of mine to inspect 4 dishes of pumped out hand wash compare the lather, and see if she could tell which formulations were mine and which ones were from Bath and Body Works.
So the texture between them is almost indistinguishable. There's slight variations, but they're all pleasantly fluffy in the same way and light. In terms of scent, I think these two are yours and these two are Bath and Body Works, but I think it's because I recognize your scents after smelling your products over the years, and I'm very familiar with them. This one in particular smells very familiar, and if I smelt that anywhere, I would think Humblebee and me. This one is unique. It's a lot more wintry. I would say classically wintry, piney scent, which you don't normally work with, but it has a little bit of extra complexity to it, and it lacks a bit of sweetness, which I find Bath and Body Works products are generally very sweet smelling in almost an artificial way and less complex. So yes, my guess is these two are yours and these two are Bath and Body Works.
I'm pretty happy with that. I nailed the lather, and the only thing that gave me away was my choice of scents. I'll have to keep an eye out for some Bath and Body Works dupe fragrance oils and see if I can fool her completely next time. If you enjoyed this bit of sudsy fun, I think you will love this foaming scrub. It pairs perfectly with this hand wash for gifting or just turning your bathroom into a spa. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.